I am going to harvest or see what's inside the second potato bag, and I'm noticing that it's starting to put on some new greens. I don't really know what that means, but there are definitely some that have died off. Yay! Potato. But it's creating some new growth here. Baby ones. Oh my gosh. Check. Oh, weird. Check it out. I got a big potato. Oh, it's been in there for too long. So these are the potatoes that I harvested from the Yukon Gold bag. I started with 2 seed potatoes, probably about this size. So I don't know what to make of this. There were 2 more potatoes exactly about this size that were rotten. So maybe I should have harvested a little bit earlier. And you can tell that these potatoes are starting to root. And actually there is a little stem shooting out of this little guy over here. So it seems that I could have harvested earlier, but either way, that would mean from 2 I would get about like 5 potatoes. It's a decent yield, I think, for the first time. I want to just review what I did with the potatoes this year. Initially, I started with a 40-pound bag and folded back the bag so that it wasn't so tall. Put in a layer of soil, put in 2 starter potatoes, and then filled it up with soil. So now with time, I got several shoots to come out, and there were leaves on these shoots. Well, you get the picture here. So when these shoots got pretty big, I unfolded a part of the bag and made it a little bit taller and put the soil just a little bit below the top of the shoots, right? And so as these got longer, and maybe there's another one here, I unfolded the side of the bag a little bit more and added more soil. And I think I did this maybe 3 times. So at the end, I had the bag here, and maybe the bag was about a little maybe a third full. Okay. So as the plants grew, I added more soil. And then at some point I stopped because I figured that I didn't have enough soil. Also, I felt like the bag would be too heavy. So the idea of mounding more soil as it grows is that the potatoes are supposed to grow sort of in the soil as you add more soil to the plant. One thing that I did was, because there were so many shoots in this little bag, I went in and I cut off some of the stems so that there's only maybe 2 or 3 stems left. Now, when I harvested the three or four stems that I had left over, what I noticed was instead of the potatoes sort of being distributed throughout the soil, all of them were kind of clustered at the base of each stem. So one thing that probably would help is for next year when I try again, to not cut the stems, or shaws, as I learned that they're called, because it seems that the more of these stems you have, the more energy it would produce for the potatoes, but also they seem to be clustered at the base. The second thing is that the soil that I mounded was maybe 1/3 full, like I said before, so maybe it needs more space. So if I can, maybe I can add more soil. And the final thing is, someone suggested that maybe the potatoes that I used were not good for my area. The seed potato that I bought was from the local grocery store, and maybe this was not good for this location because the potatoes, I don't know where they're from, but they're probably not local. So one thing that I could do is buy the potatoes from the farmer's market, where I know the farms are sort of in our zone, and maybe they will perform better. So those are the 3 things that I can think of to change for next year so that I'll have more yield in this 40-pound bag. If you have any other suggestions, I had a couple of great suggestions in my last video, which I sort of tried to incorporate here. Please let me know, and if you've had any success with growing potatoes in bags, again, please let me know. All right, thank you. Hopefully it'll be better next year.